everybody. Smash the like button.
All right, there it is. There it is. What's up, everybody? How we feeling, man? Man, long time no see, long time no chat. Unless you were in Vegas, that was. Man, we are back, and we're back at 10 a.m. Got a lot of feedback in Vegas that from a lot of people that I have not seen in a while that live over on the West Coast that said, "Dude, you go at 10 o'clock. That's a good thing." So here's the deal. We're gonna try that. We're gonna try to go 10 a.m. And my whole goal is to really kind of accomplish the whole day from here. As far as like we'll talk breakfast talk like we will always do, right? And then maybe we can get into a little bit later. We can get into some of the articles of the day and maybe what we're thinking about the markets, all that stuff on a different level, right? And let's just blast it out from like 10 to noon or something. Let's figure it out. And I hope you guys can hear me all right. If anybody wants to come on up to the stage, please go ahead and do so. You guys know the vibe of the show. You guys know what's up. Let me check the old chat here. Mike, Carey, Neil, Mike Lowry. Trust me, bro. GMGM. GMGM to the crew. Let's see. Karen, how did I miss you in Vegas? How did I miss y'all in Vegas? That's the real tragedy is that I listen. It was one of those things where I did a lot. I met a lot of people. I saw a lot of people, and I know that I missed a lot of people. And it kind of just at this point was what it was because man, oh man, everything was just it was packed. We were running around nonstop. I did, the conference every day. We did networking events every night until late. It was just nonstop. But it was a really, really good time. It was a really good event. If you were there, I would love to hear what other people were thinking uh, about uh, about their experience. I know we had Mike, the Modern Canadian. It was his first time to Vegas, if I'm not mistaken, or it was either his first. Mike, help me out here. What's up, GMGM?
What's up? What's up? It was a double whammy. It was first time to Vegas and first time to the conference.
Yes, that's right. The double whammy. Hey, hit with a double whammy here, dude. So, all right, let's digest. What was your experience of Vegas
It was wild, man. Everything is so like I was telling my wife, everything was like so grandiose. Everything's over the top and extravagant there, but it was really cool.
like? Absolutely, especially if like on the strip with like how like and that's just when you think about like people get lucky and people will make some money, but the casinos of that size, I'll tell you what. Where do you think that funding comes from? The players. So it is definitely so grand. It is a wonderful experience though. I stayed slightly off the strip, like just like on like the backside of the strip at this hotel called the Link. It was a really good deal. It was right next to the Harris Casino, which was right next to the Venetian, so the walk wasn't long in the morning to the Bitcoin conference. And then as it turns out, the Litecoin Summit which was Friday, was at the Harris, which was right next door to my hotel. So we did that. I did that with some friends, Action and Dabitola. We saw a lot of other people there. Randy Hipper, Miss Teen Crypto, and a lot of other folks, man. It was a really, really fun experience. But Neil, Mike, I'm going to swing it back to you in just a second here, but we got our hand from our guy, Neil. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? Missed y'all last week. I was kind of keeping up with you on social media, but I was wondering and this could be any of the speakers up here. Was there a statement or a series of statements or an event that like really you were like, oh my God, this is amazing.
So obviously, Ross Albrecht being able to speak and kind of just his story and how it all worked out, and that was really cool. That was a big moment. That when I first got into crypto, I believe it was a Bitcoin conference in Vegas. Was my first like Bitcoin conference. Now, if I'm not mistaken, she might have been at the Voices of Blockchain conference, but Lynn, Ross's mom, obviously has been, going to conferences and making people aware of what's been happening or what happened to him. And so being that that was a journey that I had seen my entire crypto experience, like that to full circle moment that, and to see him actually speak at a Bitcoin conference was wild. That was cool. The JD Vance thing, to be honest with you, I know a lot of people will be like, "What the heck is wrong with you?" But you had to get in line basically at 5:30 in the morning to see JD Vance if you wanted to get up like into the front. And so, to me, that was not anything that was worth it. You know, one of the things you guys hear me talk a lot about on the show, and what I do, and actually this is even in the interviews that I was doing, was the whole idea that the Bitcoin specifically has gone from a movement, from the movement to the industry, to now we're part of the global financial ecosystem. And that being now, last year we had the president, or he was he was running, so he wasn't quite the president at that point. Now this year we had the vice president plus a lot of other politicians there. Again, you got to deal with the Secret Service stuff. And from someone who has been going to this conference year after year, from when it was, a little bit smaller, a little bit more intimate, to where it is now, having and I will tell you, and shout out to the Secret Service because they do such a thorough and great job, but it is such an inconvenience. And for me, it's like the anti, it's really the anti crypto thing, is to like have to do that. I get to go everywhere. I have press. I get to go everywhere with my camera, but you're telling me because this guy's here, I can't bring a tripod. Like I can't bring this, I can't bring that. These are the kind of things that we've never had to deal with. But at this point, no, suck it up, buddy, because that's where we are. We have matured into, away from a movement. So that was like biggest pain point, and then probably the most exciting moment of the actual conference, being able to walk and talk and really learn and just meet people and reconnect with old friends. Those are the givens. But the highlights and the lowlights, there you go, you got it from me, straight from the source, baby.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. Sounds like y'all had a good time.
Oh, it was wonderful. It absolutely was, like 100%. Mike, let's hear your thorough. I gotta swap the battery in my camera, it looks like. Let me get your thorough take of what Vegas Bitcoin conference specifically was to you.
And what about Freakmont Street?
Oh man, I made it up to the Nerd Bar once for a quick appearance at a get together thing. But I didn't, I ended up staying closer to the strip where all the actual conference was, the bunch of the conferences. But I do love Fremont, man. Like when you go out there, that's where like you get to people watch, and like the freaks are out, and like the weirdos, the bum that you get to kick in the balls.
What the fuck? I did not go to Fremont Street. I feel like I did a lot, but I still have like so much to explore. So next year will be pretty cool going back again to the Venetian for the next conference. I hope you guys got your free tickets because J Chain's posted it in the group chat. So you guys should all be able to come now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my best in this bull run to amass a little stockpile. Maybe I can make it next year.
Yeah. Start saving now, people. It's really cool. But for me, it was I don't know, it was huge. The press lounge was awesome. Honestly, like I had a little booth. I did a bunch of interviews. It was kind of nice because like I had my camera all set up, and people would just come up to me like, "Hey, you want to do a little quick thing?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" I was just like saying yes to everything. So it was kind of neat. It was really like consensus was cool. Like they had a cool event, but I feel like everybody wanted to talk. Everybody wanted to do something. Even in the press lounge, I remember seeing what's his name, Grant Cardone was sitting there just doing another interview. Like it's like high quality people just like in that press lounge, in and out. It was really cool. And then just walking around, like, so the first day I just was so busy talking to people, making content, and the second day I was able to actually like walk around, hit some booths, and check out, like they had a little like a flea market, like the Bitcoin Bazaar, where you can go spend your Bitcoin or cash or whatever you want, right? But like I had a little market there. They had another a store that was just like Bitcoin. They're trying to do just Bitcoin purchases. I saw them. There were features on the news, which is pretty cool.
That's it, man. So, what do you think of the fact that did you expect more of a conference pump, or was this conference dump, the post dump apocalypse, more of what was in line?
You know, it's funny you say that because I always look at it, and every year I've paid attention to it at least. Is the Bitcoin always dumps on the Bitcoin conference every single time, and it kind of like did the same thing. It went up leading to, but like dumps basically the days after.
And that's where we're at. Do you think we're some people are saying, like, if you look at the charts, like, that's it, the top is in, like, get ready to go down. Do you think that's just hogwash?
Yes, because I think every time there's a summer lull, and Ben from Into the Cryptoverse talks about this all the time. The summer is going to be kind of boring, and it did the same thing, last cycle, and then we come back strong towards the end of the summer into August, September.
So let's see. Let's look at the total market cap here. If we
I
were
can't justify the market being over before recoveries. Like that's my. I'm gonna die on that hill. Until
No,
recoveries, I
Mike,
can't. It's not over.
you're gonna have to learn to accept this hard fact of fucking life, and that is that the Bitcoin conference is over, and the bull run is over, and then we're going back to fucking $45,000, bro.
so here, let's just
That's how it's going down.
let's just use this as an example, right? Like, as now May is over, and so say you participate and sell in May and walk away, right? Like, we get to the beginning of May, like the whole market cap was like 2.92 trillion. So during the month of May, it went up to 3.5 trillion. So if you sold beforehand, like, you missed it, and now it's at 3.2 trillion. So May is over. What do you think is going to go? You think this year it's like not gonna happen? In my opinion, like, if you sold in May to walk away, you're a freaking idiot. Like, an idiot. Like, we have been just tumbling down since December. So if you didn't think to do it in December, January, February, March, or April, you're a bozo. You already took a 70% drawdown. What the fuck's wrong with you?
It's like half the year, man. If you didn't take January, February, March, April, May, or June, fucking figure this out, then you're an idiot.
You are.
Well,
You
yeah,
should.
then yeah.
If you saw your portfolio dwindling down, like, you should have sold. Be like, well, no, I'm just holding on for May, and then I'm gonna walk away. Like, what? Sorry to be
No, you're
callous.
true. You're absolutely right, man.
Hey,
No,
let
you're
me
not
ask you this
callous. You're
question.
right.
Let me ask you
It's hard
guys
to
a
be
question.
smart sometimes.
I'm running my microphone as like a shotgun mic. Can you hear me? Well,
Oh yeah, you sound fucking crisp for a shotgun mic. What you mean, like across the room?
no. It's like right above me, but I got it just out of frame so you can't see it, and it's like not covering my face or however. But if this thing works and you can
Oh,
hear me, I
okay.
love it.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
sounds
No,
perfect.
it sounds perfect, dude. Like I couldn't tell it wasn't like a condenser right up in your nose.
I like that.
I think we're going back to 99.
Oh man, you think we're going
Yeah,
under
you think?
100K?
Oh, shit.
Neil, coming
I
in.
think we're going to bounce off the 200 on the daily and then go back up.
Is that where that I gotta open up some EMAs on my charts? I got that indicator turned off for whatever reason. I was not doing, obviously, when I go out of town. Um oh, so I see a question. Who is Jay talking to? It's our we got the space. So we got Neil, Mike, Carrie. That's who's up there right now. When I was out of town, man, I did no trading at all. I barely even had time to look at the charts. Like, hardly, maybe two times. I had three, listen to this, 3 cups of coffee the entire week. Mike, the coffee that you brought me was one of those.
Dude, I was just thinking that guy that asked the question who you're talking to, is he able to hear everybody on the space through YouTube?
That's interesting. No one has said anything yet that we can't hear. There is a space going on. If you guys on the YouTube chat cannot hear that, just let me know. But it sounds like it would be working. You know what? My mom is watching. because she commented that kicking the homeless person in the nuts was a weird thing. But it's not a homeless person. They're like street performers. I should have clarified. And if you've never been to Fremont Street, they have these circles that are painted everywhere up and down the street, and people pay the district to perform or do whatever to collect money. And that's a very notorious thing of that area of Fremont Street.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't
So
clarify
basically,
that. For anybody who was
so,
totally unfamiliar and that caught you off guard, that is obviously extreme shock. There's also a guy who wears like hooved leg things, and he like walks around as like a minotaur beast. Like, it's weird. It's like when I said it's like the freaks and stuff. It's weird. But you know, you pay
so
to take
these
pictures with,
these
like, the
quote.
Minotaur man. Go ahead, Carrie.
Yeah, but the quote unquote bums will pay, the district for their circle on the road so that they can like have you walk up and pay them to kick them in the nuts.
100%.
And there's nothing like more satisfying.
No, it's a gross.
I'm assuming from like an angry person's standpoint.
Nah.
No, you've never had that kind of anger before where you were like, I
Zero.
would just love
Carrie, no.
fucking haul up and
never.
well, you're a better man than me.
Yeah, we're done with that conversation. I apologize. We went there again.
Sorry, Mom.
Oh, how's that weather?
Back to Vegas.
It's hot in Vegas, man. I'll tell you what. When I
It's
got
hot.
back, oh, dude. Oh, so check this out. We were, I flew a red eye back home, right, on Friday night. So I left Vegas like 11 p.m. and we landed. We was late to leave for whatever reason. We were a little delayed to leave, so we were delayed to arrive. It messed up the gate situation. The gate itself was like broken, right? They kept trying to like pull it to the plane, and then it was stuck. And then the guy's like, remember, this is after a red eye. This is now like we were supposed to get in at 6 a.m. This is like 7:30, and the guy, the pilot goes on and says, "All right, we've contacted the city of Atlanta to figure this out if we're going to get a new gate or if they're going to fix this. So it should be about an hour." And at this point, everybody on the plane is furious, including myself. I just wanted to get off the plane and go. And then, within 20 or 30 minutes, whatever, they got it fixed and we were out. But that was like, the end to such an amazing trip. The networking was great. The events were great. The conference was absolutely, it just gets bigger and bigger and better every single year. That again, I use the Bitcoin conference as my metric for growth of the ecosystem. And I will continue to do so after going this year because it's proving that it's just growing and growing. And, you hear some of those crazy numbers, Bitcoin, 1.5 million in the next couple of years. I can see that shit, man. It is nonstop. So, what's up, Mike?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I took a little video when Michael Saylor was speaking and kind of like just a little pan shot of like just everybody's heads and just how many people were there. It was insane. If you can't believe that Bitcoin has, adoption is growing in Bitcoin, then you gotta go see it for yourself because it's hard to argue with it when you see how many people are there. But I wanted to touch on what like Neil was saying earlier because my mic was like cutting in and out and it was rugging. I have Bitcoin right now in a falling wedge. I do think it could hit 100,000. I have like that bolt leg that we're in. That'll still keep the uptrend if you just tap it. But I'm looking at the daily right now and it looks like we're bouncing.
Yeah, I got that. I got the 100,000 and then let's see the 104 was my last one and then 100,000 is my
You're
next
saying
one.
we
So,
could bounce
support line.
off 100 and still keep the uptrend, whatever local uptrend that we're on?
Totally.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I know there's
that's a bigger uptrend.
you could pull out like a multi-year time frame. I know this in like, you 73 or some crazy number is still doesn't break the uptrend, but I'm not trying to go there. Let's just maybe a little bit more of a local so we can be more excited. I'm not trying to scare anybody.
So I don't think we're gonna
Don't
hit
pull
the
all your money out.
daily.
Yeah,
I don't
don't
think we're
sell
gonna
now.
hit the daily 200. I think we're just gonna, like I said, if we're gonna go down, we consolidate down, and this is bullish, guys. This is still a very bullish pattern. This, if we tap 100K, it's still like a higher low. So I'm not really. I don't even think we tap 100K, to be honest. We could just go up till maybe 102, 101, and then higher low, and then off we go back up to 111, 112,000.
Hmm. I'm ready for 115, 120, and then ultimately, get into the twos. But we're supposed to wait until July, right? That's when Q3 H2 starts. And so if you think about that, what's our saying for sell in June? You're a goon. Sell in June. You're a buffoon. Probably sell in June and be a goon, right? Don't sell now. This
I
is
almost wonder if
buy more.
the
This is the buy more time.
oh, 100%. And you know what? It's kind of like last bull run too. Everyone thought it was done, everything, and the people that held and kept buying got rewarded in November.
Yeah, so it's like buy in June and see rewards soon or something.
Buy in June,
That's what I
pack
was
for the
thinking here.
moon. That's what it is.
Damn,
Buy in June, pack
that's
for the
It,
moon.
that totally what it is.
either way, if you're buying Bitcoin, you're going to make money and profit. It's just a matter of how long you're going to hold it for.
Dude, I totally forgot that like 2 months ago it was like how low it was. And then my friend came over after not visiting for 2 months and he looks at my monitor and he's like, does that say 110,000? And I'm like, yeah, dude. And he's like, I was here 2 months ago and it was like 80 something. I'm like, dude, you were here 2 months ago. It was probably like 79 or something. He's like, it was like 70 something. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
Can we
Like,
can we can we talk
buy some
about
fucking
that though?
Bitcoin.
Because even though we're still over 100, I know you guys are talking about maybe dipping down below or right to it or whatever, but like we are still over $100,000. But the sentiment's like shit. Why? Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm not super excited. Is it because ultimately, like, we are like all altcoin maxis for like the most part? Like, we don't hold enough Bitcoin for that to excite us. And I know some of you guys do, but for the most
Well,
part, I think most people altcoin holders. And so that's why we're not excited because it keeps getting beaten up.
true. That's true. You guys get beaten, and there's a lot of pain on the track of being an altcoin maxi. And so, like guys like Mike and I who hold like, the majority of our portfolio in Bitcoin, we're gonna be like, feeling like good and feeling rewarded. And like when people come over, like I'm talking about a normie who comes over to my house. He just because I have a monitor that's like on my wall that always has the price of Bitcoin on it going up and down. And so like you can't help it. Even my mother now, like she like wanders down in sometimes and like will be like, oh look, price of Bitcoin is like way up. Um, so like like normal people can like read a chart too.
Yeah.
They just like haven't they don't have, they need it shoved in their face kind of I think a little bit more. But like this kid is like you can see the FOMO in his eyes, man. Like he's only like a couple years younger than me, and like he's like, holy shit! If only like 2 months ago I had like like I had like 20 grand I could have fucked around with, and I'm like, well, dude, like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not like trying to say like anything in particular, but I kind of am.
Altcoin
Like
holders,
stop like just wasting your money.
altcoin holders are so jaded
Stop
right
wasting
now.
your money. Oh yeah, this must be a painful ride for people. Like I know I've watched my render bags and what is what else is a nice token that's gone down? Sonic has gone down a lot.
Everything,
I
literally
don't know.
everything
Like
since December has
everything's
just been,
hurting, man.
for the
Yeah,
most part, like
it's scary.
98% of altcoins is down. Um,
Yeah.
I see we got some new sayings coming up on the YouTube chat. Ellie, that's a winner. That is a winner. The problem is most of the nerds aren't getting any anyway, but I love it. I love that one. And then we got Amp Night saying buy in June, Rich is coming soon. I love that. I mean, well, there's probably you could probably blend between the buy in June and then end with Ellie's, but make it more positive. And blend like with the like buy in June, Poon soon, something like that. Like you'll get a girlfriend because you guys are finally like the nerds without girls are gonna finally get them because you can like that's how that works. That's how the cycle works.
Are you saying that we have to like be able to afford girlfriends? Is that what you're saying?
Not you particularly, Carrie. I'm not saying not you. No,
Okay, thank
but
you.
like the
Okay.
I'd say like the mouth breathers. You know, like there's a certain crew of people who participate in crypto that are forever just mouth breathers. Carrie, I don't consider you to be in that group at all. I promise you. Like,
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of a chameleon.
no, no,
I
no,
get
no.
it.
I don't associate with the mouth breathers. I promise you.
So I posted something on the Nest that'll kind of gives you the feels of this bull run.
The alpha nerds.
Damn old tripod there.
Hey, man.
Yeah, but that's eating J Chains up. I heard about the no tripod rule, and I was like, oh shit, he's gonna be pissed.
Mm-mm. I'm not pissed.
You're not pissed?
Why?
Why? Why would I be upset about something so dear to me as a tripod?
Y'all are crazy.
Yo, so are you hitting any more conferences this year, or are we done?
Well, I mean, I feel like there's probably a pretty packed schedule to look at. I mean, I think the next is going to be NFT NYC, right? Later this month.
Or are you going? Sure, I'm gonna be there for
I,
like a day.
I don't know. It's like now that I have like a better understanding of like what I would be trying to accomplish. It really all depends if I can like get like different access points to people and touch points in order to set things up logistically. So if that is something I could do, wonderful. If not, then no, and I will focus on some other opportunities. Like definitely my goal is to get to Singapore for Token 2049 in a couple capacities. One in a media capacity, potentially a speaker capacity, but also as a fighter. So that for sure, and then we'll see what's going on the rest of the year. But Token, that's the next one that I want to figure out. It's at the beginning of October again, so not only a fight, but also do some crazy meet because that'll be a big one. That's a big conference to go to. It's one of those big international ones. So that's the plan. That's the plan.
That's one of the biggest ones I've ever heard about was Token 49.
Yeah, so they do. There are two that they do is Dubai and Singapore this year. I don't know what the schedule is for next year, but the Dubai one is really big, but the Singapore one for whatever reason is usually a pretty large scale conference. It's kind of a don't miss it. I've never made it, but always kind of feel like not FOMO, but FOMO for not making it. So hopefully this year we can try to work that out and try to get some business done there. That'd be a good one to attend. And I have if you guys have questions about there was in one of the chat groups I was in, I can't remember which one it was in. It was a DM group on Twitter or X before going to Vegas. Someone was asking questions about media passes, and the whole thing is like they're relatively easy to seek out, right? You go to the conference website and you just navigate, the press or media, and there's usually a sign up form, and you fill that out, right? And they'll get back to you whether you get approved or denied, and then from there you get like a special access to go and get some work done. So I know Token's got one. I filled it out and sent the link. If you guys need stuff like that, just reach out and let me know. I can always find that for you. But if you're having trouble, but just go to the conference websites and figure it out. And if you're a
Yeah, well, I already
community
got my
member,
free ticket, man.
yeah, and if
I
you're a
got my
community
free
member
ticket.
of the Web3 Breakfast Club, I mean, you just fill it out as part of the W3BC media, and then you start sharing your content, and then boom, part of the crew. Let's go.
It's easy. They're literally giving away free tickets. I don't know how long they last, but you can like go get one right now. So I was
But
like, I'm gonna count on the fact that I can't get into the United States, but I'm still getting a ticket as though I could.
I think
And then like next year, we're
I
just
think
gonna
that you
just go
should
fucking
you
brute
should you should
force
you should take a
over the
drive to
border.
Niagara Falls and just try to see. And just say you want to see it from the United States side, and then they'll be like, "Sure, dude, well,
Yeah,
come on in," and then you're good to go.
yeah. Well, yeah. See, that's the thing. I don't want to get caught up on the American side of the border. It just, you know what I mean? Because then they can like capture me.
Well, that's not how that works.
You know what I'm saying? So like if I was on the Canadian side of the border and they said no, that'd be okay. Then I could just stay home, right? But if I get onto your side of the border and they say like, "Oh no, how did you get here?"
That's not how it works.
Then I'm in a pickle.
That's not how it works. You either
No.
dunk
Okay.
it in, or you get in.
Okay. It's been so long for me, dude. Like literally, it's been like it's well over 10 years since I've been at a border.
Yeah, yeah. Things have changed.
Especially a land border. Fuck,
Yeah.
I was probably like 12 years old the last time I was across a land border.
Oh yeah, things have changed, man. I bet we'll welcome you with open arms.
Okay. We'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I love that.
Anyway,
So
back
looking
on
at the
track.
charts, I wanna mention something to you guys too, just to keep an eye. So if you backtrack on the daily and you look at the last time, I believe it was the 100-day moving average crossed the 200-day. We actually, when it crossed, we came down just like we're doing now, and then afterwards we made all-time highs. So I'm seeing like the same thing that happened last time.
When you say last time, do you mean the last
Cycle?
No,
or the last conference?
so if you look on the daily and you look at October 28th of 2024, it crossed and then it kind of came up, went down, and then we blasted off around November 5th.
Yeah, when we hit that, we had that whole November run.
But it was the Golden Cross, and then when we had the Golden Cross, we shortly had it went down, and then as the Golden Cross continued, we ripped through to make new all-time highs. And this is kind of what I'm seeing now. We had the cross, we come down in price, and now I think once we touch that 100,000, we're gonna rip. We're in a bullish consolidation pattern.
Well, I can't say I don't like that idea. I mean, conceptually, it's a good idea.
But you look at all the and I'm trying to scroll headlines and look. I mean, you see like people buying 1,000 more Bitcoin. You got Strategy buying like another like $75 million worth of Bitcoin. You got JP Morgan talking about Bitcoin mining profitability. Let's see, the Panama Canal is considering Bitcoin payments for cargo. You got Wells Fargo seeing the rise of companies holding Bitcoin on balance sheets. I mean, at some point, like all of this adds up, and like whatever, like the OTC deal's got to dry up at some point, right? You think?
Absolutely. But the thing is, like, when you get these headlines, they say they bought this, they bought that. You don't know when they bought it. That pump could have already happened.
True, but I'm telling you, but it's just not, and that's just for one day example. It's like, but it's every day we're seeing crazy ass headlines, and you have these conversations, and it's fun. You reflect when you again. I use the Bitcoin conference as my metric because it's just been insane to see how it's grown over the last several years. But when you see like these headlines, like day after day, that are just like extremely bullish on the future of crypto. We used to watch cryptos pump 400, 600, 800% on a press release saying the founder of this project believes this project is going to change crypto forever. Stupid things. They were just fucking stupid press releases that literally did nothing but get people rich. And now we're actually seeing headlines of nation states, sovereign wealth funds, countries like the US, all that stuff, like participating, and it doesn't do anything but drop the price for whatever reason. It's wild.
Yeah, unfortunately, listen, institutions are coming in, but I think the problem with retail right now, and you're seeing this, at least here in Canada, for example, like the housing market, we have like a huge supply in housing. We have like 5 months of supply where the average you usually have like 2. So I just think people just don't have a lot of money right now. I think people are just tight, and until people they start lowering rates, people's debt will cost a little bit less and a little bit open up a little bit more discretionary income for them. That's why I don't think retail's here yet. I think retail's really just clawing back. Like, look, I know it's just like the eyeball test around me. Like, you go to a restaurant nowadays and it's empty compared to what it used to be. So I think people are just struggling right now.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And I think, what we're going to do, it's whatever the playbook is watch the interest rates get cut throughout the year. We watch the regulation change. Banks are offering crypto. You can get it right from Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Bank of America, whatever it is. And then now the barrier to entry is removed completely. You just go to your personal banker and say, hey, can you put X amount of whatever into whatever, right? Whether it's Bitcoin, stablecoin, whatever they got. At that point, you've got instant exposure to how many of the 350 million of Americans have a bank account? Let's say 150 million, maybe to be safe, right? There's probably more than that. But now you've got instant exposure to that many people. And once again, this is like it's like the same playbook that we saw that we had been talking about with what was going to be going on in Japan, right? With and that why we think Jasmine is going to be a great runner later in this year. One, because of the culture of it and how it's Japan's Bitcoin, but they've done the thing with the ETFs. They're launching those. They're changing regulation. They're doing some tax rebates. People are going to be getting more money. Liquidity is going to be flowing later this year, and at that point, you're going to see Jasmine fucking rip. That's my opinion. I'm you watch like what you like we talk about the coins here in America, mine made minted in America, whatever. Like those coins are going to rip because that's part of the plan. I feel like Jasmine's it's being set up the same way, right? And so I know a lot of people in the community love Jasmine. I think that's something to be paying attention to. Is just watch what other countries are doing. And if there's coins that are very particular in a certain area and they're going to start going through the growth like what we're going to be going through here in the United States, like pay attention to that shit. That's just another opportunity. Diversification, as they say. Don't put all your eggies in one basket, unless you have to, but you never should. But I get why sometimes you need to, right? If you only got a little bit and you're trying to catch a runner, it is what it is, my friends. Shout out to you guys. Hey, if you want to be a part of this conversation and you are in the space, come on up. Do the things. And if you are actually just watching the live stream, I appreciate you. Smash that like button. Forgot to do that earlier. Forgot to say that at the halfway point. So thank you for being here. Carrie.
Hey,
Hey, you doing
I'm
any art
sorry,
stuff?
man.
You
I'm
got any
just...
art stuff coming up?
No, I don't. I don't have any art stuff. Actually, wait, let's think. Art stuff, art stuff. Personally, no, I don't. I've had some friends who were trying to drag me into putting some art into like a display, like for a or like applying for a show. But I got no aspirations to be like a part of a show right now. That's just not like my thing. I'm like having more fun laughing at this picture of a chicken doing push-ups with his cock. Um, thank you, Mike, for that. But yeah, no, nothing really. Did a bunch of giveaways for mi amigos. That was fun. We gave away like a ton of these little critters, and they're like super adorable. And I think everyone liked them. I don't know. I think Sandra's got one in her wallet if she checks. But all of her like top 10 holders should have got whitelisted, and if they went to the whitelist page on the day of, then they would have got like a actual free whitelist, which is pretty cool. And because the floor of these things went from like I don't know, it was like 50 cents, and they're like a buck something now. You know what I mean? Like they're over 1,000 stars or whatever that is. I don't know I can't remember exactly what that is in dollars and cents, but
That's awesome.
it's more than what the floor is higher than it was, and it sold out. We sold out in like 2 hours. It was crazy. once the mint went public, it sold out like instantly. People had like so much Osmo set aside to buy these things, and a lot of people were kind of disappointed because they didn't get their buys in time, I guess. But I have a lot of them, so if anyone wants any, if they want to become a part of the Red Planet family and own an Amigo, then just let me know and I'll send you one to your Stargaze wallet.
Oh, what's the? I mean, so that seemed like that's 50 cents to $1 something for the floor. I mean, that is when you think about barrier to entry and to be able to really facilitate onboarding of people into the ecosystem to get a better understanding. And I get there's flavors for all people, right? And the idea of bringing someone into Web3 in a positive way. I mean, and that to me is a great price point for someone to get the understanding of what Web3 is. And it's kind of like the whole thing with the journey. Like you could continue to move on and be like, all right, I'm gonna go figure out this blockchain and see what kind of NFTs they got there. But I love that idea where, I mean, this is a cool collection. I actually liked the art of this. I thought that was a
Yeah,
really
no,
cool
it's I thought you'd like it because it's not pixel art, right? And it's actual art that you can get behind it because you can see like these things being made into dolls or something, right? Like
yeah, 100%.
they're
It's like,
broken and they have like little plastic parts on them and they look like they could actually be made and manufactured in real life. So like the possibility is there. We gave like 3,000 of these things away and then like the rest of them just sold themselves like
do you get
candy,
the
right?
IP with
Like
it?
what's that?
Do you get the IP with it?
The,
Like, could you take that and develop characters for
oh, I'm
for
absolutely sure that you could. Yeah, like it's like once you've bought your Amigo and you own it, then it's like it's yours to fuck with.
okay.
Like it's just like owning a mad scientist or anything else, I would imagine, right?
Hmm.
But I'm not sure what Arthur has in store. There's like some kind of a plan for these little things, and I think you kind of want to try to hold for them, and then I guess some kind of rewards, probably like from the Litecoin miner or whatever. I don't know.
A Litecoin miner?
He's got all kinds of Yeah, he's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve, like right, because it's part of the Red Planet DAO thing, right? So it's this real world asset NFT project where they mine Bitcoin and really cheaply in Russia, and then they distribute it to their NFT holders. So every 15th of the month, I get a payout in actual wrapped Bitcoin
On the Cosmos
for
ecosystem, right?
owning. Yeah, on Cosmos, but I can like then it's like in osmosis, and
Which
so
is
I can
cheap.
like take like osmosis is it's super cheap for like 5 cents. I can then take that wrapped Bitcoin and send it directly to my ledger for like pennies. Like it never even hits the centralized exchange. It comes
Do you
right from like
do you do
Russia
you
into my
do you keep it
Kepler
in
wallet.
do you keep it in the wrapped Bitcoin or do you throw it into actual Bitcoin?
I keep it in wrapped Bitcoin. Well, I no. Once I get it as wrapped, I just like automatically swap it into Bitcoin,
Got okay.
and then I just hold it. I hold the Bitcoin in my Kepler wallet until it builds up to be like $200, and then I just swap that $200. I move it over onto my ledger.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Look at
So
that.
it's just passive income, right? Like it's just passive Bitcoin earning, but by
And you
being
get it
involved
through these
in like an
NFTs?
NFT project. Yeah, man.
All right.
Like I own a couple of mining rig shares, they call them. So like for $110, you can buy a share of an actual Bitcoin miner. And then he's got like so many of these miners set up, like I don't know, like 20 miners or something. A couple of them are set to Litecoin and Dogecoin. The rest of them are all set to mine Bitcoin. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, there are NFTs as well. You can get the Red Planet NFTs and the Adventure NFTs, and those will also earn you passive income on the 15th. Not as much as owning like $100 share, but like for if you own two $40 NFTs, you'll end up getting a couple bucks a month worth of Bitcoin. So
Oh, dude, that's
I don't know,
dude,
you
that's
get ROI on that and
that's massive, dude. I like
whatever.
that. I like that.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to
it's
do
neat.
we'll have to get those guys on. We'll talk
We'll do a
some.
show. We can do, yeah. We'll get on and do a show about it. It's just they're like they don't speak English very well, so like I'm kind of like the English ambassador. So I'm still learning about the project, like on the fly, and like they're like trying to like teach me as much as I can, like and use AI to like convert their white paper into English for me and stuff like that, right?
Oh,
So
nice.
it's yeah, it's pretty. It's there's a bit of a language barrier there, but it's really cool. They're really fucking awesome people and fun to work with. So,
Dude, hell yeah.
anyways,
I like that. Yeah,
yeah,
let's set that up. Let's make sure that we do a focus on that because I would like to I'd like to learn how to do some passive Bitcoin earning, and I know a lot of other people will too. So let's set that up for sure.
yeah.
Really quick
Was it
shout out.
Mike?
I see we
Mike's
got
got something.
Carmen Crypto. Great to see you as well in Vegas. My goodness. Finally, I'm glad that I saw you at the lunch at the Litecoin Summit because I finally got that picture. Finally. So that was cool. Coins chick, welcome GM. Hope you're doing well. I got to check out the new thing you're doing. I saw that post earlier, so I will check that out and see what you got rolling with that. Let's see what else we got. Volmer, let's go. Shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. Make sure you do that thing. Smash that like button. Tag your friends. Mike, the modern Canadian. God
Big
damn
up
it.
the
What a
chat.
team. What was that, Kerry?
I said big up the chat and slap that booty button,
Yeah,
the big like button.
the big like button.
Give it a big slap.
Let's go. Yeah, CC, of course. Of course.
Yo. So, speaking of that, yield NFTs, Carrie, you'd probably like this too. At the conference, there was a vendor, Gold Mining. I think they were one of the sponsors of the conference, and I did their little thing where you get a little, freebie, and they sent me like $10 of Bitcoin in Sats, and you have these NFTs that are like little miners, and they have like a hash rate attached to them. So I got one that was like, I don't know, 4 terahash, and you can get these NFTs that have a hash rate, and you get daily rewards in Sats with these little NFTs, which is kind of neat.
Nice. I'll tell you what, you think about how mining is probably one of the things that has grown the most at those Bitcoin conferences over the last several years. I mean, to the extent of there were several full scale like shipping containers or like tractor trailer like inside things where I mean that they had server racks or the mining rigs or all that shit up in there and like that whole the mining section has exponentially grown over the last several years. As we know, I think the focus to bring the hash power, the hash rate back here to the US, right? We're getting close. Is it still in Kazakhstan from all the China movement or are we moving it back here? Anyone know?
I think most of the Bitcoin mining is in the US now, to be honest. I think most of the hash rate is in the US.
Because it was China, obviously, but they banned it. But instead of like going dark, they just moved everything over to Kazakhstan. So that was a couple years ago.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Be Frank, my dude.
So
What's up with you, my dog?
Hey, what's up, Jay Chains? I finally caught a show, man. I've been oversleeping. Well, I mean, I ain't been going to bed till like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, but, you know, I still be trying to be like, oh, I'm gonna wake up in an hour and catch the show. And I'd be lying to myself.
Well, just so you know, well, don't you worry, my guy. I got some good news for you in case you're just tuning in. The show is we're gonna go back to 10 a.m. That was the original start time of the Web3 breakfast. It allows everybody from the East Coast to the West Coast to participate in a little bit different capacity. And so that was some feedback that I got while I was in Vegas from more people than I had thought. And so that 1 hour makes a whole bit of difference. So we're going to go back to 10 a.m., the OG time. We're going back to it, 10 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday for Web3 breakfast. I'm excited about that.
That's super dope. That's super dope. You know me, man. I'm just over here working, bro. I'm finishing up stuff. I got first drop happening this Thursday. And I'm lining up events that are happening and getting sponsorships. I'm doing something completely different here.
Nice, man.
We only got
You're talking about for Rogue Apes, right?
for Rogue Apes down there this Thursday. Our first drop, Bandito Blaze, only 100 units. Every package comes with the character bags, the drawstring, a drawstring bag, 3D die cut character keychain and the lore cards that tells Bandito's backstory.
Oh hell yeah! It's the Bandito is your profile picture one.
Bandito is not. If you click on Rogue Apes, you can see it in the bio picture. He'll be in the far right of the bio on the Rogue Apes profile.
Oh yeah. All right, word. Fucking Slash looking.
Yeah, that's him. That's him. He drops this Thursday. Also, I'm lining up 20 events across Southern Virginia, Northern North Carolina, where every venue becomes a part of the Rogue Apes storyline. So not only do the characters have stories, but the events we throw have stories. So if it's at a brewery, we take that brewery and make it a part of our storyline. So we do have an event going on at a brewery in Danville, Virginia, June 28th. Is called Ballad Brewing, and we do have an event storyline there, and I believe it is on the Rogue Apes profile.
Nice, man. Well, I don't know where. I don't know. I mean, North Carolina is only a handful of hours from me, and so Virginia can't be that too much farther. So let me check into that, man. That may be something fun to pop out there for.
It's about a good 8 to 10 hours from Atlanta.
Okay, it's a day drive then. Full day. It's a big day. 2 days.
Yes, so we got it's just a little soft launch, at the brewery. It's not like a real cornhole tournament. It's only a $10 entry, blind draw registration at the event. You'll walk away with cash prizes, and also you can walk away with a set of Bandito bags. And we'll do the cornhole fun stuff where you do the airmail shot. If you play cornhole, usually one person gets 4 bags to make an airmail shot, which is where the bag lands in the hole without touching the board at all, and they could walk away with cash prizes. So, we're just doing a bunch of fun community stuff just to get out there.
I like that. I think
And
one of the
everything is
things.
recorded.
What's that?
Everything's recorded from everything I do on the back end, packaging packages to building everything on the back end, to the events. So everything's recorded on YouTube, TikTok,
Nice.
and
Show them all that BTS. I'll tell you what, like, and I love the focus, and a lot of people are putting going back to that, as me as well, right? With a lot of the things that I'm doing, but getting into the IRL, and I think we get lost sometimes in this whole digital world, and we all understand why. Like, it's just all part of the daily routine at this point. But I'm getting ready to update the Web3 Breakfast merch and all that stuff, and I feel like there's this shirt that makes a whole lot of sense, and we're gonna have it say IRL is greater than URL. And I feel like that makes a whole lot of sense, to get out right now, especially to be able to collaborate with people to grow your brand personally, your company, your products, whatever it is, your projects. This is the absolute time to do it. Mike, you were saying, if we look at this, and I think we can all just pragmatically say, we've been going down since December. We are on target to hit a bull run, hit the parabolic phase at some point. We know that this is that correction that's trying to shake everybody out, and the longer it goes, the more people go as well. But then at some point, the tides do turn, and so we're all on borrowed time, as with some people like to say, until there. So this is the absolute time to be stacking those coins, building what you got, growing your network, connecting as many dots as you can between now and say the later part of this year. And I feel like maybe some people think like, 2025 isn't going to be the end of this run. We're probably going to extend it to 2026, especially if we're going to keep kicking the can down the road a little bit as we get on this year. So, hang in there, baby. It's going to be a good one.
you see, I got this firm believer where people say, this little believing where I say, opportunity meets, God, what was it? I had it at the top of my head. Give me 1 second.
You're good.
Opportunity meets preparation, and that's where you get growth, right?
There you go, man. I
when
like
when
that.
you when you when you have opportunity and you have preparation and they both come together at the same time, you have growth. And I say that to say this: is that Rogue Apes is the first lore-driven cornhole brand there is, because cornhole is a growing sport. It's now featured on ESPN. There's a bunch of regional and state events and national events that happen. It is the ACL, which is the American Cornhole League, is headquartered out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, which is right about in between you and I, J Chains.
Mm-hmm.
It's like right at smack in the middle. And it is popular and growing. So, right now, when you buy stuff, you're just buying art. We are actually the first lore-driven cornhole brand.
Yeah, we know what we should do is we should meet in Rock Hill and shoot like a whole promo, and just
For sure.
we got all the stuff that we need there, right? We can go to the place, create some great content. Talk about that.
For
That'd be fun.
sure. For sure. The only thing I got to make sure, with the brand right now, because I'm not ACL aligned, is, I just, got to keep that separate.
Now, what do you think that would that be hard to get into? You think?
I'm in communications with them right now.
Nice.
I do have the access to host ACL events because I became an ACL director. But I'm just not there yet, and I'm not looking to align my brand with them just yet.
Got you. Okay, cool. Scratch that then. We'll talk in some other ways and figure out what we can do. But yeah, that's cool, man. I'm glad to see you moving that thing forward and looking forward to watching that success grow. And everybody loves bags, man. If you if you I think where did it really get popular? Was it around our age, like going to like in the college days, right? And I feel like I don't remember seeing it growing up. I remember seeing my dad play horseshoes. My parents were playing horseshoes, not bags. But I could be wrong. It could have been a thing. I just feel like that came a
So
little later.
horseshoes was popular when we were growing up. Um, Cornhole really didn't become popular in the United States till maybe about 10 or 15 years ago is when it started becoming your backwoods game. But it didn't really come out the woods until maybe 5 years ago, maybe a little bit more than 5 years ago.
Yeah, we got real popular. I remember playing it in college. I mean, that was the ultimate the ultimate thing, man. On a beautiful, beautiful day, you go out there and you can play bags for hours. And you got a bunch of games set up, a bunch of people sitting around, grilling out, having a beer or two, doing the thing. The glory days, man.
Ultimate cornhole.
Dude, it's
Yes.
Ultimate Cornhole is pretty good, man. Like I watched some of the professional games, and these guys are no joke, man. It's pretty cool.
Yo, what's up, G Bunny? What's up, fam?
What's poppin', yo? I just landed, yo.
You just landed now from Vegas?
I just landed. I just got back from Vegas. Yeah,
Nice, man. You have a good rest
yeah,
of the time there. What
yeah,
did you do? Did you go to the XRP thing?
bro. No, I didn't. Honestly, bro, Vegas for me was more of hang out with all my friends. Not gonna lie, like I got more motivated than ever. If you don't, I don't want to ask you to do that. But then I was like, I'll drop some bombshell in here. But if you have to delete the the recording afterward, though. You-
Yeah, don't drop the bombshell here. You can just drop it to me in a DM.
No, like just like like who I was hanging out with, X, Y, and Z, like low key, like name dropping a little people, like like. But I don't want to say it on here because people can come back and look. They'll be like, "Oh my God, he knows X, Y, and Z," and I'm like, "Ooh, never mind that." So that's pretty much about it. But yeah, man, like like I told you about Victoria, like Victoria Fuller, like how I met her, like how she came into like my circle of friends and X, Y, and Z. Yeah, like so. So just think about that, and now this Hampton repeat in Vegas. Dude, Vegas, so fun. What did you guys end up doing?
Yeah, so we did a lot, man. I did that Triller event that or the trio event that one night where we went to the Tyson Mansion. That was a
Yeah,
blast. I only had to do that one time though. I think you felt the same way on that. There was some other
I
activations
literally
there,
live
but
in that mansion.
what's that?
I live in that fucking mansion. I'm not gonna lie, cause every day I'm just there. Literally, all my dude. That's all of our friends' spot. We all just came there and hang out. Oh damn! I wish I can tell you more. My, oh my god, bro! I need to tell you. That girl, the girl who run that, I'm not gonna name, I'm not gonna say who she was, but that girl who run that fucking house, she was racially profiling my friends.
Uh-oh. That's no good.
Dude, yeah. No, it gets even crazier because she don't know who the fuck he is. And I was like, oh, this bitch don't know who he is. And we came out and I was like, oh, she don't know who this guy is. And one of her friends go, Joy, fuck. One of her friends go, do you not know who he is? He's a fucking billionaire. And then we start telling her about like what he is, or like his company. She was like, oh my God, can I get a picture? Like,
Oops. You know, you just try being
I was
kind in the
like,
first place, maybe.
no, not even that, bro. She looked at him and she goes, "We can't let that in there. We can't let him like that." Like she was racially profiling him, thinking he's a thug, because like he just dressed like a t-shirt, jeans, and like Jordans and just a cap, a baseball cap. And then like we were all sitting on like, what the fuck? And then he goes like, "Yeah, man, my whole life he won't just treat me like this, X, Y, and Z." But then I'm like, bro, you're not normal anymore. You're a billionaire. So why do people like? Yeah, that's just fucking crazy to me, bro. She literally racially profiling him, and then 3 seconds later, can I get a picture? Bitch, bye. Oh my god, dude, I hate that bitch. I hate her so much. The next time I see her, she's gonna hear it all from me, bro. Oh my god.
That's trouble. Cause some trouble in
Yeah,
Vegas, man.
no,
Trouble's supposed to stay in trouble though in Vegas.
no, bro. It's just fucking.
This is why I need to get to Vegas. Right here. You know what I'm saying? This
Yeah,
is
I'm not.
every reason why I need to go there.
Dude, after I came back from Vegas, I'm like, I'm more fucking motivated than ever. I'm like, I need to get there fast. All my friends are fucking billionaire. I'm like, what the fuck? Why am I not there
I
yet? I'm
know.
so fucking
Seriously.
mad.
We need those billions. Carrie, you've got until the end of April, which in case you guys don't know, my birthday is April 30th. That means the Bitcoin conference is April 27th, 28th, 29th. My birthday is the day after, so that means we're all gonna hang out for my birthday in Vegas. I will bring the family next time. I feel like
Oh, next year?
the child center. So
Yeah.
last year was the first year that I paid attention to the kids center at the Bitcoin conference,
Yeah.
obviously because it was the my daughter was playing there, and so this year it was bigger. They had more vendors that had kid products and stuff, and so they're definitely coming back next year or at April. Plus, it's my birthday, so we'll have a nice little birthday party in Vegas at the end of the conference next year. So y'all need to be there. So Carrie, you got until then to
Same,
figure
bro.
out.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah, we'll
my
sort
my
it out.
wife's a ticket.
Nice, yeah. That I got hers or well. Like I'll do the media thing as well. Again this year. So I'll have that. But I got her. Unless I need to give her the other press pass so she can help me out. But I got her a GA, and so they can
Uh,
go. I didn't think about getting my daughter one. Are they? Is that free ticket link still
why did
active?
you get your wife a GA?
Well,
Get her the media badge.
I mean, ultimately, I'll get her a whale pass so she can go on and like have dinner and stuff like
Yes.
food.
The ultimate experience. Yes.
Now, I will tell you, somebody explained to me, and the whale pass is $7,777 currently. And that is a shock.
Mm.
That is an expensive ticket. However, um, if that is something that you can afford, knowing going to Vegas, it's going to be quite an expensive trip anyway. I will tell you that there are special lines, special bonuses, special speaker. There's special everything. And so if you can't swing it, that would be worth it. Some people find it to be very worth it. I mean, me personally, I'm not buying a whale ticket,
I heard there was a big sandwich.
a big sandwich.
Well, yeah, like a fair sized sandwich with chips or crisps.
Crisps.
We call them chips here,
I don't know. I just, in case there was someone here from England, Doug, or I'm trying to be sensitive to where people are from.
Yo, homies, I gotta take off though. I got a bunch of videos to edit it,
buddy. Yep.
and
Well, it's
so
one
we'll
of those
chat
days.
later, homie.
I feel you. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for
Sorry,
being here. That
11.
goes for everybody. I thank you all for being here. It is 11:07, so I took you a little overtime. My bad. We had fun recapping. We'll talk about some stuff all week. Don't you worry. Let's make sure that we talk about the NFT stuff. We'll get that squared away. And I'm going to be doing things a little bit different moving forward this week. So we'll see how the content schedule all flows. Like you said, we're starting at 10 o'clock now. So we'll see you. Have yourself a great rest of your day. If there are anything that you guys got questions on that, over the week or, that we missed last week, whatever, just let me know, reach out. We'll be in the chat. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow. Remember, do what you got to do to improve yourself by 1% every single day. Every day. That's the plan. All right, ciao for now.